This is The Huddle, presented by the Midwest Christian Boys Football Camp, otherwise known as Man Camp. Welcome to The Huddle. Hey friend, welcome back in The Huddle. I'm Mike McCurry, your host. I'm joined again by Pastor Griggs. He's with us all this week. Here we are on the Wednesday broadcast. We've got an introduction to you on Monday. Your salvation testimony was phenomenal. If you missed it, go back and listen to the Monday broadcast. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about that multi-generational camaraderie, the teamwork that we have. Today, we're going to do a little of a dive into the huddle concept itself. It's kind of the namesake for this broadcast. You're one of the coaches for your team that does the huddle. Number one, you as a head coach for your team, have been for many years now, you could push that off on somebody else probably if you wanted to. Why do you like doing the huddle? What is this huddle thing? Why is it so powerful?
The huddle is very, very powerful, Michael, whenever it comes to this. It's not a time for us that are holding or hosting the huddle to get up and rip their face off and preach to them. Right. It's an opportunity for us to discuss some very critical things that are going on in their lives. Right. I remember last year, for example, was a time where we dealt with a lot of the parental-child relationship and dealing with their relationship with their parents. Right. And it hit home for me just due to the fact that we dealt with our own personal issues. Right. In our own home, dealing with relationships with my children, and being able to talk to those people, not as a level that's above them, but on a ground level, and being able to discuss these situations with those young people. Absolutely. And to think of the uniqueness of this concept, there's a lot of camps you can go to get preached at, a lot of great camps. I get to be a part of a lot of great camps. And we're not opposed to that.
We're not opposed to it. We only have like 15 or 20 preaching services, so we're most certainly. But we've added something additional. We take a busy day. I mean, first preaching service is 6 o'clock in the morning, and we end with a devotion like 10 o'clock at night. So this is a busy day, busy week, full 5 days. But we've added this 30, 45-minute, even an hour sometime, huddle time right here in the middle of a busy day. Talk about the uniqueness of this thing where you're asking questions, you're quoting scripture, and you're letting the young men talk. Right. This is very important. So I'll ask a young man, how would you rate your relationship with your father and your mother? Mm-hmm. And they would say, some would say 8, some would say 9, some would say 5, some would say 3, whatever that is. Wherever it is at, we would then follow up with another question. Right. Well, why would you say it's a 5? Yep. And what can you do? They'll tell us. And then what can you do to fix it and make it a lot better? Make it going from a 5 to an 8, 5 to a 9, 5 to a 10. What is that wall in between you and your father, that wall in between you and your mother, to bring it to that place? What walls do you have to tear down to bridge the gap, per se? Absolutely. Well, and to think like this broadcast coming to you Monday through Friday, that's basically the goal. I know we talk about football camp, promote football camp to a large degree, but at the end of the day, I mean, you just touched on something that I guarantee you, the vast majority of the audience, and even adults, I mean, as you mentioned, you were able to be there with them in a transparent way. Because number one, you have children, then you had a difficult upbringing. You had parents that maybe you weren't always on the best circumstances with, and to think that we have men that they're not just going to beat kids over the head and shove Bible down their throats. Our desire is to meet them, and what you end up with is you end up with young men that are more than just players. You're their coach, you're a friend, you're a compatriot, you're a comrade, and we're kind of weaving an intergenerational thing starting at football camp that carries on through years. I want to thank you for listening to The Huddle today. I'm going to encourage you. We got 2 more days this week. Brother Griggs is going to join us. I want you to continue to join us. Thank you so much for listening to The Huddle. Join us tomorrow. God bless. Thank you for listening to The Huddle. You can find more information and register for Man Camp online at mancamp1994.org. Man Camp is a ministry of the First Baptist Church in Dwight, Illinois. Join us next time in The Huddle.